This is a demonstration of the AI-DAPT synthetic data generation engine. The engine generates synthetic tabular and time series data to support AI development when data is limited, sensitive, or imbalanced. Users can configure the generation method and evaluate the results using built-in metrics and visualizations. Let's see it in action.
In this demo, we will show how to create and evaluate your synthetic data based on a sample dataset. In the first page, we can see here the different projects created by the user, and we will go ahead and create a new project by pressing the Create button on the upper right corner. On the next page, the user can set a name for the project and a description. Next, the user should choose a generation mode, choosing out of two options, either A, from scratch if the user does not have a dataset to be based upon, or B, from existing if a dataset already exists. In this demo, we will choose to generate synthetic data from an existing dataset. Last, the user should choose the target of the project. A, tabular, if the user wants to create tabular synthetic data. B, time series, if the user wants to create a new synthetic time series. Or C, handle imbalance, if the user wants to create synthetic data points to fix imbalance in a dataset. We will choose tabular and press the Create button. Now that we have our project created, we press Configure to set it up. First, we select an asset to fetch. We can take a small preview of the dataset that we choose. We next go to the Columns and Metadata tab, where we validate if the metadata of the columns are correct looking at column type. You can also deactivate any columns that are not needed for the synthetic dataset or set any constraints. For example, we want the order date to be always before of the shipment date. Pressing on the constraint allows us to add a new constraint. We select Inequality, operator lower than other column, ship date. And then we add the constraint. Now we go to the Generation Model tab, where we select the desired algorithm to be used. We will go with the variational autoencoder. Next, we need to set the number of samples or the number of the new synthetic rows that will be created. We select 20. Next, we can also set some other model parameters, like the epochs to be trained or the batch size. Before we generate our synthetic data, we want to fill in some metadata, like the name of the synthetic dataset and business sector, and a small description. Then we press Run and Store Results. This saves the projects and starts the generation. Once the project has been executed successfully, we can evaluate our results. On the evaluation page, the user can see a sample of the original dataset and the synthetic dataset. The user is presented with some diagnostic scores and quality scores, plus the correlation of the numeric columns on the real dataset versus the synthetic dataset. Finally, the user can see some specific metrics for every column.